welcome to another edition of Te Akau TV. I'm joined today by assistant trainer Sam Burgesson. How's it going, Sam?
Yeah, good, thanks, Hazy.
And a busy week of races coming up there with runners at 4 meetings across 3 days there, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Sam.
Yeah, obviously a huge team in at Taupo on Friday, and then the 2 meetings Saturday, New Plymouth and Riccarton, with some nice runners going around, and then Sunday to Rapa, a few jumpers, and then a couple of good group gallopers.
Awesome. Well, we'll have a look at the runners across those cards shortly, but I just wanted to touch on the week that's been. What a great performance it was from Dynastic there to open up his 3-year-old campaign with a victory in the El Roca.
Yeah, obviously a massive effort by the horse and everyone here as well to win fresh up on a track like that against some pretty high-class gallopers. I'm not sure he really appreciated the footing, but his class got him through.
And he's going to continue to be hard to beat throughout the campaign, I imagine, as he'll have a bit of improvement to come there as well.
Yeah, for sure. So all going well onto the Hawke's Bay Guineas next.
Fantastic. And Sans Doubt there in the Gold Trail, and a good performance there for second. And obviously Imperatriz fourth there in the Tarzino. Do you want to comment on a couple of those quickly?
Yeah, Sans Doubt sort of was left 3 wide, so had to push forward and lead them up into it, but was still very brave in defeat, beaten by what looks to be quite a good horse. And Imperatriz, again, she was sort of stuck wide, 4 wide, and then 3 wide. Obviously would have loved to have seen what she'd done, like she'd done it at Te Rapa, but the heavy ground sort of found her out. And look, she was beaten by a very good horse, so take nothing away from the winner.
Absolutely. I think that was the second slowest running of the Tarzino in history. But again, Dark Destroyer was very impressive and deserved the chocolates there. So let's kick things off tomorrow there at Taupo. We're going to start there in race 2. The race images rating 65, benchmark 1800. We've got Fierce Flight, drawn barrier 5 with Michael McNabb on board. Yeah,
he got home well late at Metameta over 14, so third up to 1800 looks to be ideal.
And Madam Moet, drawn barrier 7 with OP on board.
Yeah, and she was another one that went really well at Metameta. Obviously a great win last week. Look, unsure she'll get the trip, but Mark sort of thought like it looks like a good race to have a go at, and sometimes you don't know until you have a go. So we'll just see how she goes.
Great. And race 3, the Bell family maiden fillies and mares race for over 1400 metres. We've got Sternland, drawn barrier 4 with OP Boston on board.
Yep, another one that's backing up from Metameta last week, and we'll appreciate the step up to 1400.
Great. And down to race 4 there, the Ascot Farm maiden 3-year-old 1300. We've got a Mino Fastnet Rock Colt, drawn barrier 4 with Sam Wedley on board.
Yeah, he's obviously very well bred. He'd appreciate a good track. I think it's a slow 7 or 8 at the moment, so hopefully that improves with some fine weather. And he tried really well at Te Rapa, and the blinkers go on, so that should help him improve. Great.
And Savar Fairi, how do you pronounce that one?
I think it's Savoir Faire.
There we go.
Look, he's got a tough barrier, but he's got OP. He'll benefit from the experience, but 1300 should be right up his alley.
Great. And Suzanne Tabulous, drawn barrier 11, there with Joe Cameron on board.
She's had a couple of nice trials. Joe really likes her, and he rides most of her track work, so that's always a good indicator.
And Princess Jasmine on the ballot there, ballot number 2, drawn barrier 17 with 55.5 kilos. Will she get a run?
Yeah, I think so. I think Mark is thinking of scratching her and maybe going to Metameta. But if she does run, she tried well at Tauranga, but just a bit of a niggly jaw. But I think she will be scratched.
Great. And some nice horses here in race 5, the Taupo Veterinary Centre maiden 3-year-old. We've got Time Flies, who starts his 3-year-old career, last seen in the Cracker Million where he ran 4th.
Yeah. Obviously a horse with a lot of ability. He's got a nice soft draw with Sam Weatherly on. So he should be a good chance.
And Rock Anthem, drawn barrier 6 with Joe Cameron on board.
He tried really well at Tauranga. He's a bit of a hard-going bugger. So hopefully we can just get him to relax, sort of midfield or somewhere like that. But and if we do, he should rattle home nicely.
Great. And Baronet, drawn barrier 10 with Taylor Mitchell on board.
Yeah, he's had a couple of nice trials as well. He might be scratched. I think Mark's thinking of waiting for Metameta.
Stella Splendida, I know the stable's got a lot of time for this filly by Zoostar.
Really looking forward to see her kick off. She's had 4 nice trials. And she worked super out here on the course proper on Tuesday. A filly that Mark and Dave has always had a very high opinion of. So really looking forward to see her finally step out at the races.
Awesome. And family ties there, John Barrier 5, Lisa Allpress on board.
Another one that trialled well at Tauranga. Seems like a good, honest filly, and her track work's been good.
Cool. And our Millie B, no rider there. Is she going to be scratched?
Yeah, looking like she'll run at Metameta.
Cool. Zarkea, John Barrier 7, Craig Grills.
Yeah, she's another nice filly we've always had a lot of time for. She's pretty highly strung, but look, she should run a good honest race. She's got a fair bit of ability, we think.
Great. And race 6, the Pitch, Sports Bar and Lucky Lizard, rating 60, handicap 1300. We've got Rip Van Gogh, John Barrier 4 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, he's sort of running out of chances a bit. He's only been disappointing this time in, but Troy actually thought halfway down that he might be in it at Metameta here last start. He just thought he might need some better ground, and hopefully he'll get that at Taupo.
Great. Race 7, the Christine McElwee Remembrance Race, maiden 1200. We've got Patriarcha, John Barrier 9 with Michael McNabb on board.
Look, she went to Taupo last Friday and galloped really well. Sort of just see she'll probably improve with the run.
Great. And Faye Carnett, John Barrier 4 with Opie Boston on board, 4-year-old mare.
She's had a couple of jump outs at home and also went to Taupo last Friday for a gallop and seemed to work quite well. But she'll probably benefit with the race day experience.
Great. And race 8, the DPA Chartered Accountants, rating 75, benchmark 1100. Another race with a handful of runners nominated. Chella, John Barrier 9, Joe Cameron.
Yeah, he's had a few at home gallop, and Joe's, I think, won them 2 or 3 times, so he knows him really well.
And Quattro Quinta, John Barrier 3 with Taylor Mitchell on board.
Yeah, another that's had a couple of trials and a Taupo gallop. He gets the weight off of Taylor, who seems to be riding well. He's a horse with a bit of ability, so looking forward to seeing him kick off again.
Cote de Burn was quite impressive last season. John Barrier 8 there with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, like you said, a very talented galloper. He was in a couple of nice races last year, and Opie on helped.
Another talented galloper and Sophisticado, John Barrier 2 with Sam Spratt on board.
Yeah, obviously, like you say, he is talented. He's had a couple of trials to get ready, and then we just sort of backed off him for a week. He had a bit of a temperature and got crooked, but his work since has been really good, so he should be ready to run a nice race.
Great. And image of you there on the ballot, number 4. Unlikely probably to get a run, no jockey nomin listed there. So have a glass of water if you can, and we will roll across to...
Reese is in there as well.
Oh, what was that, sorry?
Reese is in that race as well.
Beautiful.
And she should go well. She went to Taupo for a gallop on Friday. Lisa on drawn 1, which I'm not sure if that will be a benefit at that stage of the day, but she seems to have a fair bit of ability, so looking forward to see her kick off as well.
Great. And Taranaki there on Saturday, we kick off in race 1, the Liquorland, Courtney Street, maiden 1400. We've got homegrown John Barrier 3, Lisa Allpress takes the ride. Yeah,
up to 1400 should suit for him. The heavy ground, which it looks like it'll be, shouldn't worry him. And it doesn't look like an overly strong race, so he should be a good chance.
And race 3, the New Zealand Bloodstock Ready to Run Trainer Series Dash over the 990 metres. Luxembourg, John Barrier 1 with Craig Grills on board.
Yeah, he was only fair at Taupo first up, and he drops back and trip to hopefully try and get him to settle a bit. We've fiddled around on some gear as well, so hopefully he can improve.
Great. And race 4, Seddon Park, rating 65, benchmark 1300. We've got Luxuriant, John Barrier 13 with Lisa Allpress on board.
Yeah, she was really good at Taupo. She just blew the start, but she's had a jump out since, and her barrier manners were a lot better. So hopefully, if she jumps away with them, she should be a good each way chance.
Great. ITM Interprovincial Championship in race 7. It's the open handicap over 1800. A good old horse there in leaderboard. Good stayer. John Barrier 6, Lisa Allpress on board.
Yeah, he looks super. He's probably looking for a bit further, but he does like wet ground, and the nice lightweight should bring him into contention.
Great. And we move across there to Riccarton Park there on Saturday as well. And we kick off in race 4, the New Zealand Bloodstock Ready to Run Sale Trainers Series, rating 65, benchmark 1200. We've got another Fortuna runner there in Nell Valha, drawn barrier 4 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, he rattled home well late at Taupo first up. And having Opie down there certainly helps. He should be hard to beat.
Great. And race 5, the Double Tree by Hilton Karaka Open Handicap 1200. We've got Burgundy Rose and Summer Monsoon.
Yeah, Burgundy Rose won well last time at Riccarton. Sort of meets a sort of similar field under similar conditions, just with a few extra kilos with Opie on. So it should be, a good chance. And Summer Monsoon, he'll definitely improve with the first up run. Blinkers go back on. Look, hopefully he's a sharp improver and seems to like the South.
Right, and next race, race 6, the listed New Zealand Bloodstock Canterbury Bell Stakes. It's for the 3-year-old fillies over set weight conditions, and it's a good lead-up race this to the 1,000 guineas. We've got I Choose You, drawn barrier 10 with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, she's probably hoping to get some good ground. She was only fair at Taupo, but had a bit of mishap in the barriers before it. Was nearly late scratched, so probably didn't do her confidence the world of good. But she's trialled since and trialled well. We've fiddled around with some gear, and if she discovered her 2-year-old form, she'd be right in it. So not the worst.
And One Kiss there, drawn barrier 14 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, she's got a shocking draw, but it's a filly we really like. Just forget the Taupo run. She's sort of in a lovely spot and then ended up getting shuffled right back through the field and didn't get much of a go up the straight. But look, we obviously think a lot of her to run her in a race like this. So hopefully if she can get a bit of cover and Opie can weave some magic, she could be in it.
Great. And race 7, the Martin Collins New Zealand Cup Trial, open handicap over 1,800. Last start winner, Kempionessa, drawn barrier 11 with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, she was great on the synthetic last time. Up in grade, but up in trip. So that should suit her. And looks like a good each way chance.
Great. And race 8, the Race Course Hotel in Motor Lodge, rating 75, benchmark 1,400. We've got Zola Luminous. She's got quite a nice little form line there with 1, 2, 2, and 2. Drawn barrier 16 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, good, honest mare. Another one that hasn't drawn great, so Opie will have to slot in somewhere. And the big weight probably is a bit of a hindrance, but she's a good, consistent mare, and we'll try very hard.
Great. And that wraps up the runners there at Riccarton. Over to Te Rapa on Sunday. We kick off in race 1, the www.warriors.kiwi 1200. Rating 65, benchmark over the 1200. We kick off with Fashion Shoot, drawn barrier 7 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, she was super first up at Taupo. Nearly probably should have won, but I'm not sure she'll want very heavy ground, which there is a chance, but the forecast looks all right the next few days, so hopefully it dries out a bit. Opie on always helps, so she should be in a good each way chance and what looks like a tidy little field.
Great, and an interesting one there, the Fairview Motors Maiden Hurdle. We kick off with devoted, drawn barrier 4 with Emily Farr on board.
Yeah, he probably needs to improve from his last few efforts, but he jumps here at home like a superstar. Emily schooled him this morning with the Mighty Spa, and she was really happy with him, so hopefully he can improve.
And the Mighty Spa, he's been seen around the synthetic in a couple of OK races over the past couple of months. He's a really interesting one to take his first start over the jumps. Yeah,
obviously a pretty handy flat galloper. That again, another one that can jumps really well at home. Aaron Kuru came and schooled him this morning. Was really happy with him and said, he could be a nice chance on Sunday.
Nice. And Quillo there, drawn barrier 3, no jockey listed there at this stage. Is he going to run?
Yes, yeah, it's just still looking for a jockey. There's the jump jockey riding ranks are quite small, so we're just still trying to line up a jockey.
Good as gold. In race 8, the Vodafone Warriors 1400. It's a rating 75 benchmark. We kick off with Amalfi Prince there, drawn barrier 6 with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, he's probably looking for more ground, but he'll definitely improve from his first up run. And Joe has won a stakes race on him, so knows him well.
Fantastic. And Supreme Khan there, drawn barrier 3 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, he's had a small freshen up from his 2 synthetic runs. Had a week at the water treadmill, and seems to have come back well. And yeah, Opie on.
Great. And outfit there, drawn barrier 13 with Michael McNabb on board.
Yeah, she was really good at Taupo, but up in grade, but drops weight, so that helps. She's 1 from 1 at the course. Has a bit of a sticky gait, but that could be the place to be if it is quite testing.
Great, and some nice horses there in race 9, the Waikato Stud Winners Circle Mile, open handicap. Prix de Fer comes out of a pretty hot form race there with Imperatriz and Dragon Leap at Ruakaka. Drawn barrier of 14, gets the benefit of a 3 kilo claim from 62 down to 59 with Taylor Mitchell on board.
Yeah, he was scratched last week from Hawke's Bay, hoping for a better track, which hopefully it is a bit, but it's not looking likely. But we sort of need to get going with him if we want to sneak him into the Livermore. Taylor Mitchell's in good form, gets the weight off. And yeah, like you said, his first up run was super. So yeah, he has to be a chance.
Great, and Emeralina, drawn barrier 3 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, another one that probably wants better ground. But another one that we need to get going with if we want to get her to the Livermore. Up to a mile should definitely suit. 1200, obviously, last time on heavy ground was not ideal. But yeah, we need to get going with her, and she should improve. She's starting to look a lot better in the coat.
Well, there you have it. That's probably the most runners we've ever rattled through here on Te Akau TV. Lots to choose from for your best bet. You're undefeated. Who are you going to go with?
Oh, geez, I completely forgot about this. I think I'll go Stella Splendida. There you go.
Beautiful. Well, she runs tomorrow there at Taupo, so keep a close eye on her. And next week, I think we head across, but we'll be back to Riccarton next week. Races on Matamata on Wednesday, I believe.
A big team in at Matamata, and then Avondale moved to Ruakaka and Awapuni, and then Tauranga potentially on Sunday.
Good as gold. Well, we'll catch you guys again there next week, and good luck tomorrow and for the rest of the weekend there, Sam.
Awesome. Cheers.